You are listening to Bridging the Gap, the podcast where we talk about businesses going global with the help of localization.
Stay put to meet the marketing, product, and software experts that make brands international.
And learn strategies to speak your customer's language. This is our very first episode, and we are very excited to have you here. This space is going to be a place where we talk about different issues related to internationalization, digital business, expansion, and growth. And we're going to have different guests and experts from the localization industry and beyond. So I'm your co-host. My name is Marta Coloma, and we hope you stick around. Today, in this first episode, we are going to kick off with a bang, because the topic we are going to discuss is certainly something that could just take us hours. We could be talking about it during whole episodes, and it's the issue of growth, and specifically how marketing strategies associated with growth can help us in the seed stage when we are starting out. How can they help us just move around and get some traction? And in other occasions, perhaps those who are listening are going to just need to trace a new course of action for the company. They need to rethink the go-to-marketing strategy. So growth is always a topic, a very hot topic inside companies, even in the big corporations. And today we have two experts who are certainly going to give some valuable insights about growth. So today, first, I'm pleased to introduce you to Lukas Mehnert. He's going to be my co-host, so you're going to hear a lot about him in the following episodes. But at the same time, Lukas is a veteran marketing expert, and he leads multiple campaigns for software as a service companies. So he's going to have great expertise to offer to us. Hello, Lukas. How are you?
Nice to meet you. And only a little bit about me. I'm more a CMO consultant, so I help CMOs in regular calls about their growth strategies, about marketing channels, and that's what I'm doing. Thanks.
Wonderful. We are excited to hear all your insights today. We have another CMO with us today. He is our own CMO at Localazy. Is Jacob Dubek, and he's going to be giving us some insights too. Hello, Jacob.
Hello, nice to meet you.
So first, I wanted to discuss, we are going to talk about go-to-marketing strategies. So first, I want to know, Lukas, what is a go-to-market strategy, and why is it so relevant to choose it wisely? Why shouldn't you rush when you are choosing one?
I think from the first perspective, or the first most important thing, is to have an overview about the market. Yeah, to know what is the competition doing, how we will grow with our tool, with our B2B SaaS tool. If everybody is sales-led or everybody is partner-led, then if you have the right solution, you can crush the market with another strategy. But it's always about the market, how it's looking there. And is it a blue ocean, a red ocean? From that point, we are always choosing with my clients the right channels. And it's the most important thing to analyze your market and understand what's everybody doing.
Jakub, do you have any other insights about these go-to-market strategies? The two main points are sales and product, right?
Yeah, basically, yes. I would say there could be also different interpretations, but basically you can divide it into the product-led and into the sales-led. It then depends on your market and also on the company size and also on the product itself. Sometimes it's just enough to do the product-led growth, which means basically that the product itself helps to bring the customers or eventually turn the users into paying customers. And then there is the sales one, where you actually have rather salespeople and they try to convince the eventual clients to try the product. For example, at Localazy, we try to merge those two approaches. They connect because we have different kinds of customers, and some customers prefer the self-service, which the product-led growth is the best. while the bigger companies, they prefer like a consultancy service, and then only they come into the product. So both approaches are at Localazy valid, and it's up to you which one you choose, or if you want to make a merge between the approaches, basically.
I think like most companies are combining things today. Yeah, like many of my clients, bigger clients, they have partners everywhere. They are product and sales led, and I don't think that it's super clear for every company that they need to choose only one channel. Yeah, like product led growth companies are, from the growth perspective, they are going or growing faster, yeah, like than sales led, because in the most cases the ticket what they are selling is lower volume than the sales led companies where you are going only after enterprises. Yeah, it always depends on the market what you are selling.
I would also say that every marketer always tries to make experiments, and if you say to yourself, okay, I will focus on this and I won't try another one, it's not the way to go. Like you will end up with the resolution that you need to pick the best from each, and find your way basically to your customers.
Before we dive into this, which is going to be fascinating, I wanted to ask you, as marketing experts, if someone is just stumbling into this concept of the go-to-market strategy now, how would you describe it as opposed to a marketing plan or a marketing strategy? What are the differences?
If you are going sales led, yeah, then you have really other things you have to do in your marketing plan. Yeah, it always depends like what you will do. It's if it's more sales led, then you have to go and think about a longer buyer's journey. Yeah, because the people, you need to learn about your solution. If it's product led, always it's more directed to the product, that people signing up to your product, so they learn through your product and not about it through a white paper or whatever. So it's like the buying journey is really the crucial part, and you have to plan in your marketing plan that what's important for the longer buyer journey, you need to involve it in your marketing plan.
You guys, I'm just imagining we are in a company where we have to change course, and we are sitting in a table where we're talking to our teammates, and we say, hey, we need a new go-to-market strategy. What are the factors that are going to be influencing that decision? And how can you just leverage them? Because there's a lot of things, including budget and timelines and teams and all the things that usually hinder the operations. How can you make the right decision?
If I can take it a word, I would also say that you always have some strategy if you are already on the market, at least a little bit. The choices you already made to get to some point. You know, even if you don't call it a strategy, you already picked a strategy. And if it is not working, and you come to the table and say, hey, we need a strategy, you actually need to make a shift from one strategy to another, to revise the decisions, and to make find the biggest problems you are facing. For example, you are not hitting the right customer profile, you are not hitting the customers. Then you need probably to rethink the strategy and to make improvements. What can I do to fill the gap?
So, Lukas, you mentioned an interesting concept, which is the red and blue ocean strategies. Can you talk a little bit about this? What is it, and how can I help you identify what you want to achieve?
Mm-hmm. It's very important from my perspective in the beginning to understand if you are in a blue or red ocean. The blue ocean means that there's no competition. or you have created a new category, a new market, and nobody knows about it. That's the downside of the blue ocean, yeah, that you have to educate the market. You have to really go after the potential clients. You need to make PR. You have to go to events. The best way from my perspective is that you have a booth and you are speaking at an event. You have to go to podcasts and you have to really reach the potential customer. In most cases, when people are in the blue ocean, it makes super sense to have an outbound team go after potential clients and to let them know about your solution. So you have really to educate. And in the red ocean, there is already a lot of demand out there. People know in most cases 2 or 3 solutions. We had it at SmartLook. When we were at SmartLook, we started on a market where 15 players were already in the market. Maybe some of them, Hotjar, Crazy Egg, Mouseflow. And we were going after this market heavily, and it was already established. So we were going in the red ocean, and in this red ocean, there are other ways and channels. That means more like PPC, because there's already demand. People are searching for this solution on directories. They are informing themselves on a website who are writing about the different zones which are out there. So it's really important to think about, okay, is it more a blue ocean or a red ocean? And from that, I always say it makes sense to decide where we are heading with our solution, how we will go to the market, and where people can inform that this solution exists.
Mm-hmm. Jacob, I don't know if you have to any pointers about the red ocean that Localazy is in, and how did you manage to navigate it?
Yeah. When I met actually Václav, the founder of Localazy, it sounded like, hey, we have a nice blue ocean here. It's an untapped market, there is a competitor, okay, but it's pretty niches of the fish. When, for example, the technical founder starts to bring in a solution, he thinks it's unique or something like that. They sometimes just don't care about the competition. They don't do the market research before they develop the product itself. So it can happen that you perceive it like you have a blue ocean, but once you hire a marketing guy and he gives you all the data, you realize you are not in the blue ocean anymore, and you are in the red one. And that's one thing. Second thing is that if you really think that if you really are in a blue ocean, it comes with a price, because creating a new untapped market means that you have to be an evangelist for the whole market. And that's a really expensive thing. And then it comes to factors like the risk tolerance and so on. Are you really strong enough to create this market or not? That's a question some people might ask, because you can also enter the red ocean market, but apply the strategies from the blue one to disrupt the pie which is already eaten up.
Definitely, from my perspective, it's always that you are mixing things. Yeah, even if you are in a red ocean, it makes super sense to make marketing moves that are typical for blue ocean, and extremely in your local market where you want to show everybody, hey, we are doing the same, and you have the better reach because you can speak the same language, so you have the better cards in your hand to rule the market. And I think in many ways, for example, at SmartLook, it worked for us. Yeah, we were starting as the 15th player and we were battling up to the 5th place. It depends from which perspective you take it. To the 5th place or 3rd place. So we had like really a lot of installations, but still the best player on the market, it was Hotjar. They were reaching unreachable numbers for us. Yeah, like it was like 20 times bigger than us because they were like clearly number one. And it's always hard like to compete with somebody who's already educating the market and like developing the market for 5-6 years upfront from you.
Yeah, I would also add to Lukas what he mentioned that actually the players which are already established in the market, they already have their mix. Like they are using listings, I don't know, they go to conferences and so on. And if you are small and you come to the market and use exactly the same sort of a plan, then you won't make it. Like yes, you can eat something of the market, but if you need to win the market share, then you need to do something different. It's sometimes called even guerrilla marketing. Like, okay, I don't have the money, but I will do something extra. I will do something different in the red ocean, and it starts to work because all the other competitors who are already established, they didn't try that. They didn't do that, and you get the attention, and you don't have to compete with large budgets, for example. You know, like Lukas knows it very well, how much money you need sometimes to pour in the pay-per-click marketing just to bring in the leads. It's very, very cost heavy, even, not even, but especially in the markets where there is a lot of VC funded startups. Like they have all the cheap money, they just put it in. And as a small company, you need to really decide where you will put those money.
Mm-hmm. You have, yeah, that's the hardest part. You have to be clever and to find ways where your competition is not. And the best sign is if your competitors are copying what you are doing. Like we have seen, for example, we went on Capterra and G2 on the first place with SmartLook. And then a month later, like Hotjar catched up and tried to beat our first place. Yeah. And this is always like you have to be clever and try out new things. And you are the more agile. Yeah. Like that's, I think the interesting thing is that you are faster and there is already an established company who is doing like several things which are developed, and you are the small competition who is trying to agile, finding new ways and to reach the potential customers.
I have in my notes here that there is a possibility that you pick a blue ocean strategy and use it in a red ocean market. How is that possible? Can you explain it to me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like as an example, like that in a red ocean, for example, you are in a local market and you take like a blue ocean strategy. That means like you go to events, you educate the market, your local country. And the more you are developing this in your local country where you have the best reach because you have local salespeople, your solution is even local in the most cases, then it's like really that you are developing, you are the owner of the market. Yeah, like till some of your competitors is translating their solution and is coming to your market to compete with you. And that's always like a big topic with some of my Czech clients, that, hey, like Shopify or somebody is coming to our market and try to grab some part of our local market here. And the best way you can defend it is that you own the market and you develop it and try to educate the people about the solution, and that you really localize it. That means like you have all the integrations that are needed for your country, that are most important for the people, and so on.
I was also wondering if this is a way of disrupting. You mentioned the local aspect, and I was wondering how can you disrupt? What kind of strategies and marketing you can use to disrupt when you are in a very crowded market? As Jacob mentioned, there's always a problem of the budgets. There's always going to be someone bigger who's going to have more money to do the same. So I don't know if some ideas about how to disrupt the market, some things that you have witnessed in your career.
Yeah, like I think it depends always about the marketing team. Yeah, like every marketing team has different skills, and from that you should use your resources wisely. Yeah, like we have small teams in Europe. Our B2B SaaS marketing teams are working super hard to get some of the clients in US or wherever. And it's always like that the competition is doing like, when we are looking at all the big B2B SaaS companies, they are trying to go to every channel and be there. And it's super hard, like for you as a new company, to find new places. But it should be your homework, like to find new ways to go after your potential clients. And it's sometimes super hard, but like if we are taking two companies in the same market, it will be always that for somebody some channel works because they have different pricing, different integrations, they have a different solution. It targets different companies. Yeah, so there are no two products which are the same. Yeah, like there is like maybe sometimes copycats, but they will have different pricings and speak to other potential clients. Yeah, like so their website is different and they have other integrations. Some are more enterprise, some are more for the small ones, and it's always about like trying to find the way how you can find the best channels which are bringing you your ICPs, which are bringing you the MRR in.
I just wanted to ask you guys, we were talking about picking the right market, but how about the ideal customer? Do you feel that companies today have problems defining their targets? And do you have any tips from your experience?
In the blue ocean market, you should like doing interviews that you know your potential customers, and from that you are creating your ICP. In the red ocean, or like in the later stage of the company, it makes super sense to regularly look on your ICP. What I did, like every 100 clients, I had an Excel file where I were making notes to every client, which industry he's coming from, what's the profile of the company, how big they are according to LinkedIn. That I understood, okay, here's something changing over the years, yeah, because it's a long process, and every small thing is playing a key role, yeah. Like that means, do you have a ISO certification, or do you single sign-on, whatever. If you have it and you release it in a year or like next month, it will need like 1 year that you gain customers who will use it, and then it starts to change in your like ICP. You can see it somehow when you are really regularly measuring it and adopt.
Lukas, what do you think? You have a brand new product versus the product you are already developing for a year or two. Does the ICP change like in time? Like because, for example, you need to find your first customers and then you need to grow the revenue. Are the ICPs different from your perspective?
From beginning, and like I think it changed like all the time. Yeah, it's not all the time, but like slightly changes are like normal, I would say. And I think it's super important to have a look on it every year and to understand like, hey, we are growing in enterprise, or this is growing, we are doing good at that or something. Yeah, like I think it's like a never ending story. It's the same as pricing. Yeah, like pricing is also a never ending story. You can rethink your pricing like every 3 months, I think, and nobody has time for that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe have you faced in any of the startups you have been talking with or the CMOs, like have you faced an issue when they imagined an ideal ICP, but the product was, for example, was not ready for them, so they actually tried to target them, but the product failed and there was a misalignment, and maybe it produced some hard feelings in the team or with the stakeholders.
We had the same at SmartLoop, that we were like super looking from outside. Yeah, like Michal Minerovic, our head of sales, he said like when he joined the company, hey, I have never seen at the state where the company is that there are coming so many enterprise demo requests. And we were not ready for that. Yeah, like Google and Facebook, they were coming to us on a demo request, and everybody from the marketing team, like we were reaching 30% of the top 50 websites worldwide in 2020 and 21. And they were coming for a demo, and we were super excited in the marketing, but like not all of them were a good fit customer. And I think like that's a problem. Yeah, but like it's good for the company to learn. It's super expensive because like you are reaching the right like potential right customers. Everybody wishes that they will be your customer, but you will learn from that, hey, we are missing on the checklist XY, we need to add this integration, and why we don't have a single sign-on or whatever.
Yeah, I think we are slowly circling back to the initial topic of this episode, and which was actually go-to-market and the two primary strategies, which Lukas perceives as the primary ones, the product-led and the sales-led one. Internet is full of those jokes, like the sales guy promises something, and when the customer comes to the demo, for example, or even to the product, they realize that the promise was not delivered. There was like confusion. Then here are those bad words about marketing, like they are promising, they are over promising, and then marketing is getting the bad reputation actually, because they are not very well informed about the product itself, about the capabilities of the product, compared to the product-led companies where the marketing teams, I believe, are better informed about the capabilities of the product. And if we match those approaches, like the sales and the product is a little bit more informed together, like what we are actually offering to the customer and to which customer, then both parties, the company and the customer, is happy. I wanted to maybe ask Lukas about his perspective on this.
Yeah, like I think that can happen like in many cases. Yeah, like that sales is over promising. But if we are looking like at sales versus product, the sales is like really more, you are going after your ICP with your sales team, and the product led is like that people can try out, so you don't have this problem because they will find out during a trial, or if you have freemium, if the product fits their need. Yeah, and that's like, I think, the good thing about PLG. And at the same time, at PLG, we can even have sales teams, yeah, who should be well informed and shouldn't like overpromise. Yeah, so if the expectations are too high, you will fail, and the customers don't want to buy your solution. Yeah, that's a problem.
Exactly. It can be also very expensive. Like the sales team are not cheap, and if they don't have enough information about the product and they just qualified beta ICPs, then it's a very expensive experiment.
And do you have it like that that sales is going after your ICP, that they are doing outbound, or like are you relying on inbound leads?
We actually rely on inbound, because we are actually like still pretty small company, and we have been focusing on the development of the product. Yeah, so actually it made just sense to focus on the inbound and on development of the product itself. And now when it's a little more mature, then now we are quite more keen to employ also the sales force.
I wanted to ask you about specifically the tools or the techniques you use to manage this kind of strategies, both inbound, outbound. I don't know if you have any recommendations for the people that are currently listening.
Yeah, like from my clients, I hear really a lot. Like we were using Woodpecker. Woodpecker is like, I think, a standard tool from. They are from Poland, I think. And I hear a lot of good things from my clients about Lagro Machine. Lagro Machine is a SaaS solution which is helping with outbound. And this is like the typical sales setup, yeah, that you have for outbound, tool which is like going after the potentials. Also, like Lemlist is something some of my clients are using. First, they make a survey when they reach out. If they see a nice response where they fit, they are personalize their next step of the outbound sequence, and try to be as much as relevant for the case. And for inbound, there are so many tools out there. It's super crazy, like what you can do, and it's super good question, like where to start. Yeah, like if we are talking about Red Ocean as an example, yeah, like I love to go with my clients that first we are trying out if, for example, G2 is the right channel. So we are gaining to the first, third, fifth, 10th place. It depends, like by vertical, how many players are out there. And if we are seeing like organically that it grows and we are getting more and more inbound leads, then we are trying to buy G2, yeah, if we have enough money. And from there we are scaling up. That means like we are buying a premium profile, and if it makes still sense, then we are going after intent data. So we are buying the profile with intent data, and then sales outbound can use it, and we can use it with for example, Clearbit or a solution where we are targeting the potential buyers. Yeah, like, but like the possibilities for product-led growth marketing tools are super endless. If we are looking at the MarTech solution landscape, there are 10,000 tools out there only for marketing. Some of them are also for sales. So it's like crazy possibilities.
Yeah. Here I would like to say that I really appreciate, for example, your experience, Lukas, here, especially among all the startups you have been working on, because when considering the channel you are going to try or experiment, sometimes it's just not a simple question like let's try it or not. Especially, for example, the G2 or Stack Overflow and so on. Those are, when you want to try this channel, it's very expensive, but you don't have a sort of validation if it will work or not. That's very hard actually when you have limited funds, and I believe that most of the people have in some way limited funds. They really have to make the decision. And my question is how to make a qualified decision on where I will put those money to work for me, or at least test the channels. Like, am I going to throw somewhere like $40,000 just to find out if it works? And here Lukas comes and tells you, hey, we have tried it with those startups. It worked. Maybe it can work for you as well. Or you can tell me like, we have tried it, but maybe you should wait when you have more time, more resources to try out this channel. That's something what is very valuable insight from people like you, that you can actually share the experiences with those all the tools you have. It's not possible to test everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely super crazy, and it's my job, like, to help the CMOs like making decisions. And it's always like as you mentioned, for example, the G2, yeah, like from my experience, I always try to first getting like to good places to see results. Yeah, like if we have already channels which are working, I try to double down on that. Yeah, we are getting already some leads. In the most cases, we will find some ways how to boost it, how to get more from it. As an example, like if you are already posting on Quora, it makes sense to buy ads on Quora to get like more people interested in your product. And like it's super important, like from the organic perspective, to get feedback from your sales. Yeah, like your sales team is the most important, valuable source of information. If they are like writing down in the CRM for every lead, hey, from where they were coming. Yeah, like every demo request should get extra tag, like here, source XY from where it came. And the more we are getting this data, we can understand during the decision process, this is a channel which is really valuable for our marketing. And then we can test out like how to get more from there, and like how to spend money wisely. Because as you mentioned, in the European SaaS companies, it's like the hardest part that you don't have the super crazy VC money as in US. And we have to really rethink decisions 3 times before we are buying something. And we should be like a little bit sure that it's the right channel where we are getting some potential customers.
Yeah, that's sometimes a little bit tricky, like to find the balance between the expectations of the VC funds and your runway. Like, like let's grow fast or die, like the blitz scaling, because at the end of the day, it's your company and you need to use the money wisely. Even if the money are like borrowed, their external funds, I believe that it's not the way to just burn everything, try everything what's possible, and see if it works.
Yeah, like definitely that shouldn't be the way. And like I think it's always a good idea. We had at SmartLook 55 channels where we saw like some results, and like 15 were super positive from ROI perspective. Then we had like tens where sometimes it was better, and it was always that we were going back to the channels and optimized them and tried them again, because as I mentioned before, your package, like what you are selling, is changing every year. Your website is changing, your integrations, your features. Sometimes you are even like redesigning the whole platform, and you are adding some valuable stuff for your potential clients. And then you should always like try out the old channels again, because in the time where you were trying it, you were like not the right solution for the people who are out there at this time.
Well, guys, we're running out of time. This is fascinating, but I have a last question to make now that we are giving tips on how to navigate this environment. I was wondering if you could just offer a few tips just to finish off to our audience, how to go through this go-to-market strategy process with confidence, and of course, how can you leverage rapid and long-term growth, because people are always impatient. Maybe they have the business on their back, as you always mentioned. But how can you find a good equilibrium there and have the patience to find the right channels, the right techniques, and just get the right target you were targeting from the start, you know? Yeah, that's my question.
What helped me like in the first days always is like ICE scoring. Yeah, like ICE scoring for prioritization. What could work for us? And we were always like looking at like, okay, this could work. This could be the way how we get our clients. And the hardest part is like to manage all these channels, like because the bigger, like the more channels you have, the bigger your team should get. And I always like was a big fan of like trying out a channel, and if we were like at the limit of the channel, we were trying out some agency or some external help. We were finding some freelancers in US, some people from Poland who were helping to work out the channel even better than what we were able to do in-house. And only as an example, like I think that's super important to say no to some channels. Yeah, like when we started SmartLook, we were deciding in the first years that we don't do any content. Our idea was like, okay, we will first make backlink building. We were like bringing SmartLook to the 25,000 best backlink websites worldwide. It was like every day 10 minutes, 15 minutes work for me. And we were deciding we will start our content like when we have enough backlink capabilities and some money from a VC that we can really put some efforts in there, because our competitors, they had already like content teams who were like much bigger than us. So we said, okay, we will not create any content. We will be here super clear in our strategy, something like that it will work in the later stage. And I think that's super hard because like every VC will tell you like, hey, why you are not doing content, because everybody's talking about content. But I think like to make decisions what not to do can help really be successful, and to find out, okay, here are other channels and we will double down on them. And when they are working, we will find some helping hands from outside, and internally we will work on trying out new channels. We were always doing tests like quarterly, 1-2 channels to try out newsletters, influencers on YouTube, buying some people who will blog about us. Also, what helps there is to check if there are sign-ups of influencers, and if there is somebody coming who's an influencer, that you work with him together and work out a referral program or whatever. Yeah, I'm a possibility searcher, to have always open eyes, for searching for possibilities, and Jakub is also using this word. Or
that's it. I would maybe just conclude it what you said. Basically, it's about seeing the opportunities, finding the synergies, but you need to set up the priorities, because there is so much opportunities to do, and it's not possible to do everything. And this also requires patience, because it really takes time to see results, and it also requires the focus, and that's maybe the hardest part of it sometimes, because the opportunities are shining, and they always try to get the attention, and you want to do something new, to test something new. And that's what I believe that both of us kind of fight with. Just trying to opening the new doors to for the customers.
Yeah. And what you mentioned with patience, I have seen it in so many cases on my place at SmartBlock. When you start your solution, nobody cares about your solution. Yeah, you need really patience. That one time you will write the person an email, maybe an influencer with a nice blog for your industry, and in the first connection they will say, we are not interested. But maybe at the next event you meet the guy and you show him, hey, I'm a real person, let's chat, let's have a coffee chat, reach out to him through LinkedIn, and then one day maybe he will write about you. It needs really time, before you build your brand, and that needs patience.
This has been a wonderful conversation. I'm sure we could go on and on and on and on until infinity, but we have to leave it here. Thank you, Lukas. Thank you, Jakub, for your collaboration today. And for the new audience in this first episode, I hope you stick around and we can listen to each other soon in a very interesting episode, I hope, with another set of experts for you. So see you soon, and thank you for listening to Bridging the Gap. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you as well. Bye-bye.
If you like this episode, please follow our channel and add it to your favorites so you don't miss the next conversation. You can also follow us on LinkedIn and YouTube for updates and bonus content. Until next time, stay curious.